Hi guys, how are you all doing? Welcome back to the channel. On today's tutorial we are creating this beautiful summer dress. I know it's winter in some of the areas, but hey, you can put a coat over this beautiful dress. This is how the dress looks. The back is bare and it's round dress, airy for summer days and autumn days. Beautiful color, I just love it. Please subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, share your thoughts on the comment section, and again, it's a beautiful dress, right? So I love you all so much. Let's get started with this tutorial. We are using 100% milk cotton yarn, and these are the colors we are using: white, we have beige, and we have brown. All right, each yarn is 100% milk cotton yarn, and each of these is 50 grams. We will use tape measure to take your measurements. You'll need stitch markers, a pair of scissors, and most importantly, we are using a 4.5 mm hook to crochet. So let me just make sure this is visible, but this is a 4.5 mm hook. It's what we'll use to crochet. All right, so we are going to start working from the top of our work up to the bottom. From the top, I mean from the neck area all the way to the bottom. And please note, we are going to take our measurements from one collarbone to the other collarbone, and I'm just trying to show you guys this is a 4.5 mm hook. But let me give you a sketch of how we are going to do our work. So we'll start from the collarbone. We're gonna chain 35 chains. Is all size chain, that is measurements from one collarbone to the other collarbone. All right, so this is the first collarbone, and here the measurements in between is 35, or you can just measure your dress, and then you're going to increase on each side of your dress like this until you get to your belly area. All right, once you get to your belly area, we're gonna make the back side of the dress. Please note, you can crochet up to your upper belly if you want your back area to be a bit high. Okay, and then you're gonna make the back. Because our back is bare, that's why the back part we didn't make. We just made the front part, then the back part we will start here. All right, and then we will do increases and make the round part. Easy breezy, right? And please remember, you can make your work as long as you want. So I'm not so good in drawing, but that's it. So let's get started. And as I said, we are chaining 35 chains. That is measurements from one collarbone to the other collarbone. It's a medium size dress or small size, or if you're not sure about 35 chains, please take measurements of one collarbone to the other collarbone, then chain as long as your measurements is. And right now we're just chaining the collarbone measurements, and I will meet you at the end. So I'm done with my chains, and now we are going to do a row of double crochets across all the chains that you have. So skip 2 stitches from the hook, and we are going in with a row of double crochets. Let me zoom in for more visibility. So yarn over, skip the first 2 stitches from the chain, and we are creating double crochets. All right, so yarn over, skip this first stitch, go to the second stitch, the first 2 stitches, sorry, and then just go in with a row of double crochets like this. Sorry, I'm just trying to get the best view for you guys. Someone told me my work is not easily, it's too much on their faces, so I'm just trying to find the best for you guys. Anyway, we are doing double crochets across all the chains that we had, and I'll meet you at the end of this row. So I am done with my rows of double crochets, and to begin the next row, kindly chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and now we are beginning with our pattern. Please note we are increasing in the beginning of the row and at the end of the row. The chain 3 that you just did, yarn over and go in the same space that holds chain 3 and do a double crochet inside there like that. All right, that is our first increase, and then we are going to do a normal double crochets across all the stitches that you have until the end. And as I said earlier, we are increasing at the beginning of the row and at the end of the row, so we will increase again at the end of the row. In the middle here is just normal double crochets. Okay, so we are almost at the end of our work, and I said we are doing an increase at the beginning and at the end. So I just want to do my last double crochet here. So yarn over, go in this chain here and do a double crochet like this. All right, and we are doing an increase, so go in the same space at the end here like this and do a second double crochet inside. As you can see, our work is widening up, so chain 3, turn your work, and in the same chain 3 space, okay, yarn over and go in here like this with another double crochet. That makes another increase on this second row. All right, then go in the next stitches and just do normal double crochets, and we are going to increase again in the last stitch in this row. All right, I will meet you in the last stitch on this row. So guys, we are on the last stitch. Yarn over, go in this second last stitch and do a double crochet first like this. Okay, and then now this is the last stitch here. The chain 3 is the last stitch. Go in there with a double crochet like this. Please do not make your work so tight, otherwise it will be hard to go in. Then go again in the same space with another double crochet like this to make an increase. So this is the pattern, and we are going to work like this up to only 7 rows. Once your work hits 7 rows, we are going to alternate. Okay, so we are increasing in the end of the row and the beginning of the row up to only first 7 rows. After your first 7 rows, we will increase on alternate rows. Okay, but for now, let's first finish the 7 rows. Guys, I'm done with my first 7 rows. As you can see, I increased in the beginning of the row and the end of the row. The work is becoming broader and broader. So These are 7 rows, and from now I want to change my yarn to brown. Please, if you don't have all this yarn, you can just go with one color. I love playing around with colors a lot, that's why I'm changing my yarn. And as you can see, your work has to go this side, meaning it's becoming thicker and thicker, broader, so that it perfectly fits on your bust area. So I am changing my yarn to shade of brown, and this is how I just change my yarn. First I think I'm gonna remove this chain 3 because I want my work to be invisible. So please do not chain 3 first with the color that is going out. So just leave a long tail like that. You can see I left a long tail of the white yarn. Introduce the new color like this. Okay, we are going to chain 3 to the new color. All right, so 1 2 3. So this is how I introduce the new color. And then please remember, we are doing increases at the beginning of the row like this. So go in that first stitch and do, oops, sorry, on this row we are not increasing. All right, we're already on 7th row, so skip the first stitch. As you can see, I skipped the first stitch, so that means no increasing on this row at all. It's a normal row. From the 7th row that you got in, we will be increasing on alternating row, meaning this row we did not increase, the next row we will do an increase. So on this row, no increase. As you can see, I skipped the first stitch and we are at the end here. I'm just gonna do 1 double crochet at the end. Initially we always do 2 double crochets at the end to increase, but for this one you can see I just did 1 double crochet. Okay, and then I chain 3, turn your work, and on this row now we will do an increase, yarn over. As you can see, I'm going to this first chain here, first stitch here that holds chain 3, and I am going to this first one because now we are doing an increase. I hope you understand this concept. So now after you've gone in the first stitch, continue with normal double crochets until the end, and please remember we are also increasing at the end of this row. We are increasing at the beginning of the row, at the end of the row, on alternative chain stitches. I hope you understand. So this row there's an increase, the next row no increase, this row increase, the next row no increase, and you are going to work like that until your work perfectly reaches your stomach area. Increasing on one row no increase, increasing on one row no increase. You see I'm at the end here, and at the end here I'm going to do an increase. So I went in with the stitch like this, double crochet, yarn over, and then go again in the same space with another double crochet to make an increase. All right, and please remember the next row we are not doing any increases. So chain 1 2 and 3, yarn over, turn your work, yarn over, no increase. So we will skip this first stitch here, skip this stitch, start working on the next stitch, and continue with normal double crochets. So easy, I promised you. Very easy tutorial to follow. So we are going to work like this until your work reaches your stomach area. Mark your work is becoming bigger, so it will fit your bust measurement well. All right, so I will meet you once your work perfectly fits you well. This is my work now. I went ahead and interchanged yarn colors. I showed you how to do that, and at the end here you'll need to be pulling these yarns that are remaining, all right, to make your work tight. So now we want to make the back of our work. This is the front of our work. Remember, the back is bare, so I want us to make the back, and this is how long my work is. This went all the way to 11 inches. All right, remember the first 7 inches were fully increased, the rest were increased and non-increased. So this went all the way to 11 inches, and now we want to make our back. Please note, we are going to chain as long as your stomach area is, because you are going to increase on the hips, so you don't need your hips measurements here. So as you can see at the end here, I just continued chaining, meaning I am chaining up to my waist measurements, and my waist measurement is 30 inches. So I'm going to chain as long as the 30 inches is. Remember, the front part also is part of your waist, so there's this back part and the front part. So 15 in the front, 15 at the back, that makes it 30. Do you understand this? I hope so. Do chains that when you multiply by 2, it will be is equals to your waist measurements. Mark you, the front part is also part of your waist measurement, so I just chained chains that are long enough to make my waist area if combined with the front part. I'm hoping that is clear. Once you have your chains, I think I chained 50, I'm not so sure, but please make sure your tape measure is your best friend. Once you have your measurements in check, just join your work at the end here like this. Okay, make sure it's at the last stitch like this. You join using a single crochet like this. All right, then you chain one, and then you're going to cut off your yarn. Before you cut off, please go ahead and double check your work if it perfectly fits you at the waist area. Okay, I'm hoping we are clear on that. So this is how your work should look. All right, now we are introducing the back. Okay, like this. So we are going now to find the middle of your work. So to find the middle of your work, this is the easiest way you can do it. That means this is the middle of your work where the chains meet at the middle here. All right, take a stitch marker and put it at this point like this. I'm gonna use this safety pin as my stitch markers because they are quite far from where I am right now. So I'm using this safety pin as a stitch marker, and we are putting it at this point here. I'm hoping you see how I found the perfect measurement by finding the middle area. You can see, perfect. So now we are going to join our work here on this stitch marker. It is now where we are going to be joining our work from. All right, so let's turn this around, and now we are going to join our work here. Okay, this is how you bring in your yarn by making a slip stitch, then go here at the stitch marker like this. Remove your stitch marker gently, and then just go in like this with a single crochet, and then you chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. All right, so yarn over, and we're now going to do a row of double crochets across all these chains that we made and also across the front part. So I will meet you once you're done with this row of double crochets. So guys, I'm done with my normal double crochets, and we are at the end here. At the end here, go on top of chain 3 like this, then join your work using a slip stitch like that. All right, and please, before you continue, kindly make sure your work at the waist area here is straight. Okay, make sure your work is straight, otherwise you'll have to unravel all your work and it will be not so good. All right, So kindly make sure your work is straight. It's all round here at the waist area. It's round and perfect before you continue. All right. So once that is perfect, chain 3 to begin a new row. All right. We are always we will be chaining 3 always to begin a new row, and from now here we are going to do increases on each 7th stitch. So do normal double crochet 1, 2, 3. So we are doing normal double crochets until the 6th stitch. Once you're on the 7th stitch, I will meet you again. But for now, we're just doing normal double crochets until the 6th stitch. As I said earlier, we will be increasing on every 7th stitch to make the roundness of your dress. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 6. So on every 7th, which is this, let me zoom in so you can see clearly. This is our 7th stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is our 7th stitch, and we are going to do an increase here, which means 2 double crochets into that stitch only. Then again we start counting 1, 2, 3. Remember, this is 1 double crochet in each stitch. Only on the 7th one is when we increase, and we are going to do like this all around our work. Count 1 to 6. On every 7th, do 2 double crochets in the same space, and we're going to work like that until the end of this row. And not only the end of this row, we are going to increase on every 7th stitch until your work is round enough. It passes your hips measurement plus 4 inches on top. Okay, the rounder the better. So make sure your work is your hips measurement plus 4 inches on top. My hips measurement is 41 and I went up to 46. So that's when you see my dress is really round and nice. But please note, once you hit your hips measurements plus 4 inches, please stop increasing and just do now normal double crochets until you reach the length where your dress is. And that is it. Easy breezy. All right. But before you get that, please note now we are doing increases on every 7th stitch. And when I say increases, I mean 2 double crochet on every 7th stitch only. All right. I hope we are clear on that. So let's get to the end. I'm at the end, and at the end here, remember if your work at the end here doesn't reach 7, is okay. We're only increasing on the 7th. So at the end here, go on top of chain 3 like this and join your work using a slip stitch. Please make sure it's on top of chain 3, and do not make your work so tight, otherwise it will really be hard for you to work. So go on top of chain 3 like this and finish up your work using a slip stitch like this. And to begin a new row, we are always chaining 3. Please note, do not turn your work. Chain 3, yarn over, go in the next stitch and do a double crochet. And please remember, please always remember, if you want to change yarn, don't chain 3, just cut off your yarn like this and then bring in the new color. The new color will now be the chain 3. As you can see now, I'm introducing shade of brown, and now it will be my chain 3. So chain 3 in this new color instead. That's how you introduce your colors nicely. And then at the end of your work, you'll just stitch them in. All right, so that is now my chain 3, and as I say, just pull around a bit for it to be tight, yarn over. Okay, please make sure it's always 3, otherwise you are gonna do an increase. Anyway, let's begin again in introducing the new color. Okay, so once you introduce your new color again, we are going to count up to 6th, and please remember always on the 7th is where we do an increase, which is 2 double crochets in the 7th stitch, and we are going to increase until you get to your hips measurements plus 4 inches on every row, on every 7th stitch. Okay. So guys, I did morph some rows, and please remember we are increasing on each 7th stitch on each row. And now let's measure and see if it's past my hips measurement. My hips measurement is 41 inches, and this is how far I've worked. This is how you measure your work to make sure it has surpassed your hips measurement. So clearly I'm past my hips measurements, and my hips measurement is supposed to be 40. You can see this goes to 26. 26 by 2 is equals to more than my hips measurement. All right, so I went more than 4 inches, but it's still okay. Okay, so from now we are not increasing again. We are just doing normal double crochets all around, and that's it. All right, so this is how we make this beautiful dress. I just continue the normal double crochets all around, and then go ahead and put the straps. Make sure it's long enough to go all the way to the back like this. Okay, and at the back here you'll just find a way to put it in and out, and all the way to your lower back. All right, the straps need to go all the way like this and all the way to the back area like this. I'm hoping you enjoyed this tutorial. Please subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, write me on the comment section anything that you didn't understand well, and I hope you see you soon. See how much beautiful this dress came out. Thank you so much. I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.